Now, Western leaders have condemned Russia and are preparing new sanctions after the horrendous discovery that civilians were massacred on the outskirts of Kyiv. Russian troops were forced to retreat from two towns on the outskirts of the city. Some victims had been murdered execution style, with others with their hands tied behind their backs and left dead in the street. There's also evidence of some women being raped, even in front of their children. Well, joining me now from Ukraine is Oleksii Goncharenko, member of the Ukrainian parliament. Thank you very much for making time for us this afternoon, Oleksii. First of all, I suppose the big question is, how is the mood in Kyiv with the Russians being forced out on the positive side, but also unveiling the true horror of the atrocities that appear to have been committed on the other?
Yes, it's a very bitter taste. We have a victory, very big victory in the battle for Kyiv, and that is extremely important for future of our country and of the whole continent. And it shows how the war will end at the end. But yes, the taste is very bitter, because what we saw in liberated areas of Kyiv region is absolutely awful. I've been there personally 2 days. And I saw a number of bodies of killed people just lying on the streets, just in their cars. People were shot, people were burned down, and that's so awful. I can't even explain you when you see pictures like this. I saw people in Hostomel, which is Hostomel, Bucha, and Irpin, 3 towns which were liberated, which just near their home, private house. Russians killed 2 people in the car, and then in the night they took their bodies and buried in their private garden. They even didn't know who they are, but they buried their bodies there. There are still bodies for 1 month staying on the streets. I saw probably the most awful that I saw the car with a burnt child, probably 5-6 years old, maybe 7. It's a real horror, and it's a real genocide which is committed by Russians, and war crimes, and by Russian army, because it's not Putin himself who was killing all these people. It was Russian soldiers and officers who did these awful things. And I think that we should call it genocide. We have all the signs of genocide here.
It's extraordinary hearing you give that personal account. Of course, the videos and pictures that we've seen online have been horrific enough, but seeing them in person must be just another level. I suppose when it comes to
a lot of it is on my Twitter, so those who want to see it, I understand it's shocking. I can just tell you, I need to tell it in advance that it is shocking, but who wants to see the truth, on my Twitter, please, you can do this.
We certainly will. It's a very, very sad situation. I suppose documenting all of this evidence will become very, very important when it comes to rightly taking the Russians to the International Criminal Court.
We already invited prosecutors from International Criminal Court to Ukraine, and also there are like dozens of international journalists who are watching it with their own eyes, seeing these mass graves just near the church, where I saw one open grave with 15-20 bodies in black bags and things like this.
What does it do to the spirit of the Ukrainian people to see such horrors? I suppose on the one hand is devastating, but on the other, it may strengthen resolve to push out the Russian menace from the country altogether.
Certainly people are shocked, absolutely shocked. But from another hand, it's even more clearer what we are fighting for. That if we would lose, they will just kill all of us and go ahead. So certainly it even makes us stronger, that we need to win this war just to save our nation from this genocide. And I'm sure that we will do it. And I hope that the whole world, free world, will help us in this, watching these awful pictures and understanding that it could happen in other places where Russians will get. So it is so important to stop Putin now, because they are real Nazis.
So what would you like to see the West do more? Obviously, there's a big debate about what kind of weaponry we can supply. The West is worried about escalating the crisis, but on the other hand, wants to do all we can do to help.
I don't know where to escalate more. There's a full-scale war with such war crimes like I described you just recently. And speaking what can be done, first of all, stop all business with Russia. All business. Stop buying oil and gas because it's just a big gas station of the world. Stop all commercial activities with them. I think that all British companies, for example, should leave Russia and not to pay taxes in their budget, because from these taxes, all this murdering is financed. And secondly, what is very important is weapons. By the way, here I should say that the United Kingdom is a leader. I want to thank United Kingdom, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, all MPs for support of Ukraine, and we are receiving a really real support from the UK, not only good words. Because now, 1 million good words is not worth one rifle. So we are receiving from the UK a real support, a real weapon, and we are very thankful for this. But we hope that UK will also help to ensure others to do the same.
Well, Oleksii Goncharenko, thank you very much for providing that first-hand experience there for us. We really value your time this afternoon.